All right, let's talk about it. Probably one of the biggest, most debated topics in education right now, AI and the classroom, specifically ChatGPT. Is it a friend or is it a foe?
And really, it all boils down to this one big question, doesn't it? Is this amazing technology creating a new generation of brilliant thinkers, or just making them really, really good at cheating? Let's dig in. Okay, so first up, let's get the inside scoop from the people who are actually using this stuff every day, the students. What do they think of their new AI study buddy? To really get to the bottom of this, we're going to look at a big study by Yusuf Quagkuza. And it's a good one, because they didn't just talk to students. They surveyed over 500 people, students, teachers, and parents, to get the full picture.
And right out of the gate, things get really interesting. When you ask about critical thinking, look at this. A huge chunk of people, almost 300 of them, say they see a moderate or even significant improvement. But on the flip side, you've got more than 200 people who are like, nope, not much help at all. It's a real split decision.
So what does that tell us? The verdict is totally divided. There's no one-size-fits-all answer here. It seems like everyone's having a different experience.
And it's kind of the same story when you ask about problem solving. Yeah, a lot of students feel like it helps them find new ways to tackle a problem, but you still have this really big group, 120 people, saying it has no impact at all. The results are all over the map.
And you guessed it, for creativity, it's the same deal. I mean, look at that giant chunk of the chart. 181 people said it didn't help their creativity one bit. But then you add up everyone else, and you've got well over 300 people who feel like it does help them get started or even innovate. The jury is definitely still out.
Okay, so this huge split, it makes you wonder, right? If the results are so mixed, what's actually convincing students to use ChatGPT in the first place? Well, for that, we have to look at the psychology behind it.
To figure that out, we're going to lean on this really useful idea from a study by Abdi and his colleagues. It's called the Technology Acceptance Model, or TAM for short, and it basically explains why we decide to use any new piece of tech.
And what it says is, pretty much common sense. Students will use it if it's actually helpful for their work, if it's easy to figure out, and of course, if all their friends are using it, right? That's social influence. Then you've got whether it's actually fun to use, and finally, do they trust what it tells them? Makes sense.
But, and this is where things get really interesting, what happens when students start to get a little suspicious? We've all seen the stories where the AI just makes stuff up. So what happens when that doubt starts creeping in?
This is the kicker. The more a student worries about getting bad info, the less they want to use it. And here's the weird part. The study found a paradox. Sometimes, the easier the tool is to use, the more skeptical they get about the answers. It's almost like it feels too easy to be right, and that doubt is a powerful break.
Okay, so students are skeptical. Fair enough. But are they right to be? Let's actually put ChatGPT to the test and see how it really performs. For this, we're looking at an empirical study by Al Afnan and his team.
And wow, the results could not be more black and white. On the left, for straight-up facts, textbook questions, ChatGPT is a rock star, an A+ student, giving accurate, high-grade answers. But on the right, when you ask it to do something creative, something that needs a personal touch, like an essay, suddenly it's a C- student. The work is just bland. It lacks detail and a strong core argument. But how it does on the assignment? That's not even the whole story. Because this AI has a secret weapon up its sleeve, and it's one that completely changes the game for academic honesty. 0%. What's that? Well, in that study, that's the plagiarism score a regenerated AI answer got. Yeah, 0. Let me explain how that's even possible.
So how on earth does it do it? Well, as the researchers put it, the AI is an absolute master at skillful paraphrasing. It's like a verbal magician. Let me just show you what I mean.
Okay, check this out. On the left, you've got the first answer it gave. On the right is what you get when you just click regenerate. The meaning is exactly the same, but the words are just shuffled. Overwhelming number becomes excessive amount. The list of examples is tweaked. It's so subtle, but it's often enough to completely fool the plagiarism checkers.
So, you've got students who are torn, you've got this weird psychology of why they use it, and you've got an AI that's great at some things, terrible at others, and it can cheat like a pro. So, what in the world are teachers supposed to do?
Okay, so what's the game plan? The research actually lays out a pretty clear path. Step 1, rethink the assignments. If the AI can ace a simple factual question, maybe it's time to stop asking those on take-home tests. Focus on tasks that need that unique human touch. Step 2 is a big one. Integrate, don't ban. Bring AI writing into the classroom. Show students a clunky AI-generated paragraph and say, all right, team, how can we make this better? Use its weaknesses as a teaching moment. And third, and get this came from the students themselves, is to shift the focus. Encourage them to use AI for brainstorming, for getting unstuck, but not for writing the final paper. And of course, that means schools need to have really clear rules so everyone's on the same page.
And that brings us full circle, right back to that first question. Look, this technology is here. It's in the classroom right now, and it's not leaving. So the real question for everyone is no longer if we'll use it, but how. How do we make sure it's a tool for making us smarter, and not just, well, better at faking it? That's the real test. Thanks for watching.